I can. Doesn't mean I think like that on a normal day. People think, well, you must be sick in the head. Do you think like that on a daily? No, this is my creativity. I could go there. I could tap into that where maybe other people can't. But it's not like I go around thinking of like rape, or how to murder somebody in real life. That's not how it works. I'm tapping into that at the moment. So, but I don't put filters on that. So when Frank got it and he read the script, he said, I don't know if I could write this, and I don't know if that's going to disturb people or not. And we worked with horror icon Bill Moseley on this film, and he told me something that Rob Zombie had told him while directing him for either House of a Thousand Corpses or I think it was House of a Thousand Corpses. He had to do something he wasn't very comfortable with, and Rob Zombie told him, you know what, this is art, and art is not safe. And it helped him get through that scene. And I said, wow, that's really hitting it. Like, I like that. I'm gonna remember that. And that's what I said to Frank. I said, I think that you shouldn't be afraid of that. You said you wanted that scene to be pretty tragic in a way and disturbing, and let's just do it. And like when it came to the sex scenes, same thing. I had to be in the room when they had to close the set, And then I remember the other guy that was working with us said to me, do your parents know you write this stuff? And I said, oh God, come on now. This is, again, it's art. You know what I mean? Of course my parents know I write this, and they're fine with it. I'm an artist, It's not always going to be, unicorns and rainbows, right? There's going to be some horrific stuff. But see, when you're doing horror, that's a little different than supernatural thrillers that are plot driven with some horrific elements sprinkled in. So it was two different movies. And believe it or not, getting distribution for Blood Night, The Legend of Mary Hatchet seemed a lot easier than getting distribution for something that was a lot more cerebral. You know what I mean?
Like here, Star 69.
Yeah.
So
you just don't know.
What's next for the movie? What's next for Star 69? Is it?
Well, right now I'm working on a couple of other things just to keep myself current.
Right.
And so I needed to step away from that for a little while because I really didn't want to get burnt out.
Right.
And, and I really did feel like I was for a little while. And I didn't want to get to the point where I didn't like the process anymore. I didn't want to get to a point where it wasn't fun to make movies anymore because I actually did feel like that for a little while. I really did. And it saddened me a lot because of that, I got writer's block. And I never in my life understood when people told me they had writer's block. I thought that this was something that didn't really exist. I thought it was honestly code for laziness or being undisciplined. And you know what? I'm ashamed to admit that I thought that. And, going through it yourself, you realize, oh, this is real. Mm-hmm. Those people were legitimately blocked, and it never happened to me, so I couldn't relate, so I didn't know better. And I didn't mean to be judgmental that way. I never mean to be, that's never something that I want to be. But I guess I found myself, just doubting that until it happened to me. And then when it happened to me, I realized that, okay, it's probably because I'm burnt out. And when you start getting paid for your art, it's very different than when you were writing it, alone in your office and writing it on spec, and you're not assuming anybody's paying you for anything. So you write what your gut is telling you to write. When you get paid to write, it's so different because you second guess everything now. Because now you've got to satisfy the audience, you got to satisfy the distributors, you got to satisfy the sales agents, you got to satisfy everybody. So now you start getting, oh my God, you start to feel like you're going to explode. And then, so I had to get away from that for a while. And then doing shorts, I think, is really what has helped me get back. I was never really into writing shorts, believe it or not. I always was feature length. Doing shorts, I remember Paul asked me for years, let's just do shorts, let's just keep going. And I was like, I don't really do shorts that well. And then, but, my boyfriend now, he's the one who said to me, you know what, I think that you need to start doing them with Paul. I think that you guys would be doing yourself a service to actually just keep doing shorts, keeping yourself relevant and up to date with things, and without having to make that such a long commitment of a year or two to have a feature made and raising the money and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So you know what? That's what we started doing again and going nuts. Like, we're just on fire now, and we're just spitting out shorts, and it's so much more fun right now because it gives you something to focus on short term, to get it out there, to be happy. And if it's not great, you're on to the next. It's not this 2-year, 3-year, 4-year, 10-year, 15-year commitment that's sucking the freaking life out of you. You know, so I really started enjoying doing shorts because of that reason. So that's where I'm at right now. And I've got my feature-length screenplays ready, so that's good. So I'm glad when during Star 69, before I got blocked, I was able to bang out some feature-length scripts that they weren't even horror, actually.
Right.
I kind of stepped aside from that. I was doing what I felt like doing at the time because I like several different genres, you know, not just horror. But I love horror. Did I just say horror? Horror. It's a horror. No, but
it's a Jewish moide show.
Yeah.
Horror. But your other genres, is there like a romantic comedy? I think you might have mentioned in your bio.
Yeah, one is romantic comedy called Ladies and Gentlemen, and it focuses on the double standard between men and women. It's really cool. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I would love to see get made one of these days. But and then I have a couple of other things in the pipeline, which are, I wouldn't say horror, or even
horror.
Thriller, maybe. Horror. They're not really horrors, but they're more like thrillers. No, I say they're dark. You know, dark subject matter, but not necessarily, horrific or anything like that. Or maybe to some people it might be. I don't know. You'd have to tell me. I'll give you the script. You can read it.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Questions I usually ask all my guests. Do you think we all have an artist inside of us?
I think everyone has a passion inside of them. Whether it's artistic or not, I don't know. I think that just the fact that we're human beings, we have so many abilities and talents that are untapped. I think people really don't know what they have until they find out what their passion truly is. And I think that if you don't have a passion, there's a reason for that. I think everyone has a passion that's hidden, and I think that a lot of people don't know how to access it. And that makes me very sad, because I think to really enjoy life is to find your passion. You got to find your passion. And I don't care what it is. It could be literally collecting Snapple caps, you know? And I say that because not to make a reference to my film, because that is a big thing in my film. But even if it's something like that, collecting anything could be somebody's passion. Playing golf is somebody's passion. Dancing, karaoke. That's my passion. Mm-hmm. That's one of my passions. I love to sing karaoke. I used to go every Wednesday night, sing karaoke. I love to sing. I love to dance. And you want me to tell you something? That has actually worked for me with my editing because of the rhythm. Mm-hmm. Everything is timing with dancing and singing. So believe it or not, it's actually even helped me be, to help me able to edit my own material, So, so to answer your question, I don't know if everybody is an artist inside, but I think everybody has passions inside. And whether it's something artistic or business or entrepreneurial, I think that's all kind of artistic in a way, isn't it? I guess so. But I think the best thing to do is try to find your passion. And even if you don't have one, meditate on it. Really, sometimes when you take time for yourself and you're just present and in the moment, you could find out what your passion is. And honestly, it could be something as silly as just looking online at shoes. Like, I love shoes. That's my passion. When I want to, people doodle while they can't get stuff out of their brain, when they're blocked or whatever. I go in every freaking store online and I look at shoes and boots and blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, I had an idea for a product for boots. And I was like, wow, maybe one day I'll do that. But that's not really something I want to do now. But I just love shoes. So that's my passion. And, it makes me feel happy looking at shoes and buying a pair of shoes, So whatever it is, find it. Find your passion, as long as it doesn't lead you into a shopping addiction.
Channel it creatively, folks. Yeah,
right. Channel it creatively. You know what I mean? Maybe you love shoes so much that maybe you perhaps want to start designing shoes. Sell it to your friends. Learn about shoemaking. Believe it or not, there are courses you can take about that stuff. So that's what I mean by that.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, what advice do you have for future filmmakers, screenwriters?
Well, I wish somebody would have told me this, but I did learn it from Arnold Schwarzenegger. And what he says, I will agree with 100%. Do not, and I repeat, do not have a backup plan. People are probably like, what? I'm not kidding. I know that sometimes you have to have a backup plan because you need to survive and you need to pay your bills and you want to get out of your parents' house and all that stuff while you're working on your craft. I get it. But what happens is when people get their backup plan, okay, and they focus on their backup plan because they want to make money in order to support their craft or their goals or whatever it is that they want to do, whatever it is they want to achieve. Guess what happens? That backup plan, that plan B, okay, winds up taking all of your energy and all of your focus, okay? Now all of a sudden the money is rolling in. You got your own place. That's great. Okay, now I could go out more. Now I could buy the stuff that I didn't have anymore. Now I could buy the equipment to make my movies or, work on my music or whatever it is that you're doing, okay? Now what happens? You're getting all these toys, but you don't have time to work at your craft. You don't have time to hone it. You don't have time to get better at it because plan B has taken over. All the energy that you were supposed to put in plan A, your dream, right? Your dream that you're supposed to fulfill is now in plan B. Then what comes after plan B? You're comfortable now. You're making money. Okay, so I'll get to my film one day. I'll get to my music career one day. Now you're getting married. Now you're having kids. And now you really don't have time for that. Oh, well, guess what? Now the kids are in college. And how much older are you now? And you still didn't do it. Now you're still at the beginning stages because you never honed that craft to begin with. You're still at the beginning, so it's like you're starting over again at 50 or 60, whatever. It's never too late as long as you're doing it. But what about all those years that you lost because you were focused on plan B instead of plan A? So my advice is this. If you need to make some money in order to really pursue your dreams, don't look at it as a plan B. Look at it as a side gig, bartending, waitressing. I don't care. Something that is never going to take more of your focus away than it has to. Okay? Then get back to your plan A and work on it every single day. Eat, sleep, breathe it. Never, ever lose sight of it. Never say that you're not good enough. Become good. You don't have to be the best. There are a million singers out there that are famous. I mean, they're amazing, but they aren't the best singers in the world. But they've got something. They've got something. They've got that it factor. They know how to dance on stage, or they know how to resonate with the audience on a different level. And it's not even their voice really that anybody cares about. It's who they are as a whole. So always remember, you don't have to be the best at anything. You just got to be really good and find your unique voice. And never, never lose that to focus on your plan B, because I promise you, you will never get to plan A if you're focused on plan B. And that's, my friends, that is when you feel dead inside. That is when you say, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, or, I'm not fulfilled. And next thing you know, you're in a relationship or bad relationship or whatever it is, and you're trying to fill that void because you never got to live out your dreams, or never even tried to live out your dreams. Better to be on your deathbed knowing that you tried everything and didn't succeed than to be in some other career or something like that, and to look back one day and say, I didn't try everything. Who knows where I would have been? And guess what? I just lived my life. I don't have another life after that. That's it. So that's my advice. And work your ass off. And, it doesn't, work cleverly. The amount of time is not what matters. You could practice something endlessly. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So as long as you're honing your craft correctly and you're always learning the newest things and you're staying current, which is really so important because things are always changing in the industry. Stay current, learn new things, network, all right? Network. But always, always, always make time. So it doesn't matter how many hours in the day. You just have to be productive. The amount of hours doesn't mean a thing. And that's about it.
Very great advice. Damn.
Thanks.
I wish someone had told me that.